Good morning from Brockenhurst station, where I'm about to change trains. Oh, wait. Ah, there we go. And I'm about to change trains onto the little Lymington line, which only has 2 stations. And I've travelled on it once before back in 2020 for the sake of it, and back then Lymington Pier had no station signs. So although I'm starting my walk today at Lymington town, I'm going to go to the end of the line quickly, just in the hope that I can get a photo of a station sign to add to my collection of all of the stations I have visited so far. So the gamble has paid off, and brilliantly, Lymington Pier now has some heritage signs from the British Rail era in that classic southern green as well, which we have become familiar with when travelling on the Island line on the Isle of Wight only 3 weeks ago. And speaking of, you can actually catch a ferry from here to the Isle of Wight to Yarmouth, which we did explore once we got off the longest bus route on the Isle of Wight. We're not going there today though. It's time to jump back on the train, cross the Lymington River and start my walk from Lymington town. And Lymington town has these same heritage signs as well, which I do remember. I don't know why Lymington Pier didn't back then. Let's start our walk. I love tiny branch lines like this to Lymington, and when I came here before I did actually walk between the 2 stations by crossing over the Lymington River. This time we're heading for a coast walk, which means I'll kind of have to head down the river until we get to the actual good beach part of today. Are there any more stations with no signs on the platforms? Let me know if you know of any, but I'm really hoping there isn't. Lymington town to pier are quite ridiculously close to each other, but they do provide an important connection. I mean, how else are you going to get over there to get your ferry to the Isle of Wight? It's been nice walking through the town and down by the river, and I've come across an old gas lamp here. The town was first lighted with gas in 1832. That's pretty cool. So the marina just stretches on and on and on. It's such a huge site. It's going to take a while for us to reach the beach properly, but we are walking what is the coast path. It's known as the Solent Way here, which of course the Lymington River will be flowing out into. That itself is about a 60-mile footpath that starts in Milford, which we will visit later, and ends in Emsworth. Wow. Well, there's the Solent. The Lymington River is making its confluence with it. Look at all the boats leaving the marina to get out onto it. And of course, that will be the Isle of Wight over there. Kind of weird to think I was only there 3 weeks ago. So this is absolutely incredible. I do have a selection of marshland to walk across as I make my way down towards the beach. I'm already spotting a certain location on the Isle of Wight, which I've been to. The only problem with these estuary coast walks, no matter how beautiful they are, is that there's usually situations like this where I'm going to have to go all the way around this little bit of land here, which is obviously going to add time and distance on. This little wetland bit here is very much like a bird wildlife haven. The island is full of them. Well, I've made it all the way down, and now I just have to go all the way back. Just to help me out a little bit, I'm actually going to take a bit of a shortcut. So rather than go all the way around this bit of land, there is a little footpath over here which should just cut right across a bit of the marshes. Ah, lovely. I can smell the salty seaweeds, saltwater smell now. That's probably only saved about 5 minutes of walking, but I don't mind getting a little bit of diversity because it's pretty much just going to be along the coast from here for a while anyways. So why not do a bit of across the marshland walking? Ooh, is that a Lymington to Yarmouth ferry over there? So I can see the 2 White Link ferries are about to cross over each other on their journey between Lymington and Yarmouth. And in the other direction, I can see the destination we're heading for out on that little spit of land. I was struggling to work out where Yarmouth was along the Isle of Wight coast, but the ferry has just pulled in over there. You might not even be able to see it. It's quite a small one, to be honest. I didn't realise I was literally opposite it at this stage. Wow, look at this. This is unexpected. Got a selection of wild horses here. There's even a couple up along the footpath. Hello there. You're not fazed at all, are you? You're very used to this. Hi. So I'm now approaching Key Haven, where there is a little ferry which brings you out towards the Spit. I did consider taking it, but evidently I have just missed it. I think it will be about half an hour until the next one. The ferry takes about 10 minutes as well. So by the time I walk around there, I'll pretty much get there around the same time as the ferry, as it's about a 2-mile walk. It will save me £6 as well. But this will make this one of the longest walks on the channel, close to 15 miles, which is why that shortcut really helped me out. And it's the hottest day of the year as well. It's close to 30 degrees, so perhaps not the best combo, but it's much more bearable down here on the coast than it would be, let's say, in the city. If I had had to have postponed my Hounslow Heath walk because of the tube strikes which had been called off, that would have been a real struggle. There's also quite a few people waiting for the ferry as well, so I'm not even sure if I'd get on. I don't record the distance of my walks anymore because it would just drain the battery on my phone. It was becoming too much of a risk. I don't really want to splurge out on a watch that will do that same thing. So I'm not exactly sure how long this is going to take, but I am going to do it. I'm going to go for the walk along the Spit. Just arrived. I spotted it a second ago, but now it's kind of hidden beneath that land over there. And I'm not a million miles away, I'm almost at the end too, so that timing's worked out pretty well. So right at the end of the Spit lies a magnificent lighthouse and Hurst Castle, which began construction in 1541, and so is one of King Henry VIII's castles, which is kind of fitting because we came across one of his in Yarmouth on the Isle of Wight only 3 weeks ago. Now I did spot Hurst Castle out on this Spit when I visited Yarmouth and Needles on the Isle of Wight. I'll leave a link to that video in the description below because the first part, visiting the stations, did exceptionally well for me, and then the second part it didn't even get 10%. But now that I've made it all the way out here, all that remains is for me to go all the way back. But at least for the rest of the day, I will be on the beach now. Huh, strange. There's a little railway that runs into the grounds of Hurst Castle. I was not expecting that. It's great to see all the little fortifications and all that around the outside. I'm glad I've walked down here. Actually, it seems to more run around the outside. Was there a miniature railway attraction here back in the day? It's not been used for a very, very, very long time. I had to come up right to the very end of the Spit to really make the most of walking all the way out here in the first place. I'm so close to the Isle of Wight, and yet so far. I mean, my best bet is that ferry at Yarmouth, which I can see again now. When I tell you that the shade of Hurst Castle here is the only shade I've gotten all day, I'm being 100% truthful. Actually, before I make my return along the Spit, I'm going to go in the sea, because why not? Especially if I'm overlooking the Needles over there as well, which is incredible. I have done a couple of coast walks along this stretch before in Dorset. I am actually in Hampshire today. One walk from Poole to Bournemouth and one from Bournemouth to Christchurch, which means after today I have one little section from New Milton, where I'm ending, to Christchurch to basically connect all of these walks together. Now I have, before on them walks, walked barefooted in the water all the way along because it's very sandy. Here on the spit though, it is stony. I don't know what it will be like later on, but if it does become sandy, yes, I will walk in the water like I have done before. Now, so far, I have been coming down to this part of the coast once every year. Now, that might not necessarily mean that I'll do the New Milton to Christchurch walk next year, as there's other parts of the coast along here which I would like to prioritise, some very beautiful locations like Swanage or the Jurassic Coast. It's incredible to be at this spot right now though, looking out over the Needles once again. To think that was such like a big trip to go and see them, and I didn't think that I would visit that location for many more years to come. And yet, you know, I'm spotting them already 3 weeks later. What am I, like a local to this area now or something? Well, this is going to be a great walk back along the spit. There's no one here now. There's quite a lot of people up here when I sat down. Now there's no one. Everyone's already kind of left for the day. Okay, so I've made it back along the spit. That was the path I took to get here in the first place. I crossed over that bridge, so everything now will be brand new territory, and it suddenly got really busy because not many people walk too far away to get their spot on the beach for the day. There is such a huge number of rocks here. I presume to kind of keep the spit intact so it doesn't get eroded. There is a little beach down there, but it looks like the rocks take over further along. So I don't really have a beach for a while, it seems like. But either way, it looks like I'm gonna have the Needles in my view pretty much the entire time. So I'll take that. It's great to see the cliffs of the Isle of Wight. Amazing to think Allen Bay is just around that corner. Okay, so it's Milford-on-Sea that I'm approaching now, which I think is actually the end of the Solent Way. That made me wonder whether I'm leaving Hampshire and entering Dorset, but no, I remain in Hampshire all day. This area must be prone to erosion, because there is a little bit of a beach here, but then quite a substantial sea wall as well, so it gets blocked off again down there. Wow, well Milford was quite busy. You can see the lighthouse way down there now. Obviously, you know, the Needles is still visible. And I'm hoping this section will be much more quiet now. So I have just sat down there. There is a little beach for a good half an hour. It's been nice to just relax and take it all in. There is a bit of beach on this side, it is a bit quieter, but I'm not too sure if it goes all the way along or not. The path heads up here on the cliffs. I think just to be safe, I'm going to do that as well. I mean, it's not like if I was to stay on the beach, it'd be a nice sandy one that I can go barefooted for. Okay, seems like I might have been able to have stayed on the beach down there. I just didn't know how it would be because I didn't know if the tide would be in or not. To be honest, it's pretty cool to be walking on top of these cliffs anyways. It seems if I did stay down there, this would have been my way up. And I wondered, again, do I risk it? But no, that definitely looks like there's no access, right? Oh, maybe not. It does seem like I can still get onto the beach. It just doesn't look it, and then it does look it. And it definitely looks like I can go along for a while here as well, beneath the cliffs. Oh, I'm kind of tempted. Shall I go down? Shall I take that path? Yeah, let's do it. It's just a shame it's not sandy. You know, I should get some sandals or something so I can still walk in the sea even when it's stony. Huh, it is a bit sandy here. I'm trying to make a judgment call whether it's kind of like this all the way along or not. See, that's stony. If it was like that, in the water all the way along, then that'd be great. It worries me that the beach is starting to thin out. No one's down this bit. Does that mean there's no other access? Surely I must be able to keep going. Wow, this is just nothing for ages. If the worst comes to the worst, how possible is it to climb these cliffs? Ooh, it doesn't look good. I see people again on the horizon now. I guess that's a good sign. This is such an impressive section. I'm loving the cliff faces here. One thing which I knew would be different about this walk than the other Dorset ones is that I'm going in the opposite direction. So in the evening, the sun is in my face, but it's kind of glided over me slightly. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, so that's okay. I just realized I could still see the lighthouse. Wow, honestly, these cliff faces are something else. They're giving the ones towards Christchurch a run for its money. You know, it might even be giving Allen Bay a run for its money, and that's saying something. Oh, them waves are mental sounding. I found a way up, so we're good. I'm gonna take it, but I thought I'd just take one last rest on the beach. I might put my feet in one more time because it's nice and refreshing. And I've also got the new Pringles Burger King Bacon Double Cheese XL flavour. I want to try them. Ooh. I need a second bite. You know what? That taste has really set in. And it is exactly like a Burger King's flame grilled patty. It's actually really nice. Well, as sad as it is, it's time for me to now say goodbye to the beach as I'm going to ascend the cliffs. People are walking this, but this is not an official path at all. Or have I just come the wrong way? I might have just come the wrong way. I'm still not believing this is the most legit path in the world. Ah, oh, this is just magnificent. Nobody's here. I've got the whole cliff top path to myself. It's actually nice to be on solid ground again after almost tripping over the stones along the beach. Love it. Wow. It was the edge of that cliff which worried me that there was no more beach. But there is. I'm happy to be up here though. This is just a different experience now. Also, seems like possibly down there might be the nudist beach, so I'm kind of happy to be up here. Yeah, there we go. I think that would have been the point where I was like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be on the beach anymore. I'm glad I came off it. What an incredible shot looking back though. I'm almost at the end of my coast walk for today. I'm nearing Barton-on-Sea, not New Milton. So this might be our last shot of the Needles all the way over there. Now we know from personal experience, and I'm sure many of you have also been to Bournemouth before, you know just how far away the station is from the beach. You have to go straight through the town. Well, at this point, the railway's starting to head inland, so New Milton is a good, I would say at least 1.5 miles all the way up from the beach. That's why you kind of have that little Lymington branch. So I guess all of that coast is going to have to wait for another day as I head inland to find the station. Well, this just feels weird now after being by the coast all day, but I've got this park to pass through which will take me alongside a strangely named river. This is the Beckton Bunny. Eventually that path brings me to Old Milton, which isn't as historically old as I thought it was going to be. There's nothing here. And by process of elimination, up the road lies New Milton, where its only redeeming quality is this fantastic water tower here. Southall has one which is identical. And New Milton Station is only named as such because they opened a post office here, called it the New Milton one, and then this area just evolved separately to what would become the Old Milton. This station is quite a small one for this line. I usually get like 10 coach trains down to Bournemouth, but only 5 carriages fit on these platforms. So as well as getting my photo at Lymington Pier this morning, I do at least get another one for a new station here at New Milton. And I will admit, the train out here this morning was quite possibly the busiest one I ever caught. Because bank holiday weekend, almost 30 degrees, every Londoner, Wokinger, Basingstoker, Winchester is heading for Bournemouth Beach, because of course they are. And now I'm sure everybody is coming home. And what worries me is that the train before, which I was actually on time to catch, has been cancelled. Admittedly, the train this morning was missing one coach, but we did also leave people at every station. So even if it did have that extra carriage, it would still be packed full. Oh, and the one behind's delayed. And it's 9 coaches. No, it's the same train as this morning. I've been scammed because this one has 10. I genuinely was starting to feel ill on that train this morning, and I couldn't do anything about it because I literally couldn't move. South Western Railway, it's not good enough. It would be great if there was some sort of like emergency timetable in place when they know it's 30 degrees on the weekend. Put extra trains down to Bournemouth, double the frequency. You really do need it on this line. If I lived locally at one of these stops and I wanted to head down to Bournemouth and couldn't get on the train, I would genuinely start to think maybe I should drive there instead. And in reality, it should be the other way around. Right, I got an update. The 1901 wasn't technically cancelled, it was still running, it was just delayed and they didn't stop it here to try and make up some time. So in effect, it was cancelled. The one behind is now 15 minutes late, but at least it's left, at least it's not been cancelled. And that means the one before has stopped at Bournemouth. So hopefully, it's not too busy. Please have seats, please have seats, please have seats. I'm so happy, I could cry. There's a train coming in, it's not mine. I know it's not mine.